Kids and cadets, happy Sunday. I hope your morning is starting well. I slept in a little bit, jumped out of bed. I had two customers that are going to come out, previous customers that have bought from me. I fixed their machines, so they're going to be picking up today, this morning, hopefully, two of them. Yesterday was kind of busy. Thankfully, my son came out and helped me in the morning. He did all the paint work, cable work, various small tasks while I concentrated on fixing two that needed carburetor cleans. So that worked out well. A couple of scrappers showed up, so I thought I'd do a quick video on local scrapper. Brought me 3 for 40. So we got a Troy built here, no nameplate. It was on the lowest deck setting. I just lifted it up because it was scratching concrete. We got that to look at. My last project last night was on this Boland's. I went ahead and did a carb clean on this thing. I'm not sure about the mulching plate there. Somebody's made a homemade plate. I don't know if I'll leave that there. This may have been sold by me. It's got some blue painter's tape here, and that's what I use to mark prices. This one was kind of a stinker. I had to take the carb off 3 or 4 times. It would run for a bit and then stall, run for a bit and stall. It wasn't acting like water. You'll get a run and stall right away. This would run for a little while, then slowly peter out. It ended up the main jet got enlarged by me, and it runs smooth. I opened it up. Normally on these 300s, oh, it's a 450E, so maybe that's why. Normally on the baby 20s, the 300E or E300s, I don't mess with the jetting. I didn't realize this was 450E, so I opened it up and it runs smooth now. Sharpen the blade. And so we got a China built yard machine. I recognize that right away as a China build, so we got to see why that crapped out. It's got a separate cable for choke, so we'll look at that. Since this one's right here in front of us, let's start with this one, see what year it is. If I can read this. Let me get a little brush, then a light. I've got my light. It's just not bright enough yet. I'm trying to beat the heat. I still have the Troy built with the bag regular pusher. I paid $30 for. I want to see if that runs. It's an 06. The engine code (123) kilo 020336 Echo 1. Looks like the 5th month, 13th day of 06, 2006. The model number for the Troy built 11 Alpha dash 426 Alpha 711. So let's look at the air filter. We'll check oil, see if it's got any gas on it. This was sold and serviced by Lowe's Service Advantage 1888. Tough shit. It's too old. Okay, let's get busy. I got Happy Juice nearby. If we've got to give this thing a shot. It was pushed to the curb for some reason. I remember this one now. The wheels are shot, so it's going to need wheels. That's way too much play. These things are war slap out. I guess you could say, if you're in the south. Oh, okay. Well, this is something to be desired. Oil saturated. I don't think there's a white pleat on this thing. So what do you think? The crankcase is overfilled if it's pouring out of the engine onto the air filter. Well, let's see. Let me grab a paper towel. We'll check oil. Oh yeah, it's got double what it should. Well use, double duty, double D. So that would create a problem. Somebody's got aftermarket screws for the beauty plate. Okay, we're bone dry on the tank. I see some yard debris in the corner. Probably can blast that out with some compressed air. So let me kind of manipulate this thing here. Safety brake cable works, but it's a little tight. That needs oiling. Rope is still in place. You think we should juice it or put some oil in the tank? I mean, gas in the tank. It's going to smoke like the dickens. Let's just see if we got a oily plug. We'll do that since it's facing me. It's got the Champion plug on it. So I'm hoping for a good day today. Two people come out, get their mowers. I was in a panic yesterday that I had too much interest and no machines. Well, that fizzled out. Only sold 2 in the afternoon. So out of the 25, 2 showed up. So we got some build up on this RJ19LM. I'm kind of rusty up here. I'm going to take some sandpaper and just give myself a nice fresh connection. I suppose we can put gas in it. That way I can see it if it primes. This is a priming unit, so why don't I do that? I got some Wawa non-ethanol. If you're from the main line in Philly, Bryn Mawr, Devon, you know about Wawa gas. Villanova. Radnor Township. The Agnes Irwin School for Girls. Good old Agnes Irwin. Some of the finest young ladies have graduated from Agnes Irwin. Okay, so that's that. Let me get down here and prime this thing. Okay, waited a minute, nothing's going into the bowl yet, so we don't have priming. So that might have been an issue. They couldn't get it running if it's not priming. That would discourage them. They would push this to the street. So let me back up the green bolins, pull on this. Okay. Seem kind of rattly. Is it the recoil rattling? Yeah, recoil's loose. Yeah, the bolts, 2 bolts for the recoil are loose. So that would have scared Harvey. Let's just put this back together and get it over with. That should be good enough. Probably not the right tool combination here. 2 swivels don't make a right. Feels like it's got compression. I'm going to go with straight nitro starting fluid just to kick it off. It'd be good to get it in the hole. It was kind of off. Okay, kicked off. Okay, so that's what it needed. It needed a shot to kick it off since our priming system has failed and it started smoking. Of course it did. It's got twice as much oil in it as it needs. So this one just needs some basic maintenance. Needs to be tightened up here. The recoil is loose. Okay, so this one's been checked out. Let's move this Troy built to the side. We already know about the bolins. I cleaned the carb, fiddled with the jetting, got that to start. Let's move this Yard Machines by MTD to the front and center. Let's look this thing over. I've worked on these things before. They may have a lock chin, I think is the Chinese manufacturer. I guess we can start with model number. The 11 Alpha dash 08 Mike Alpha 029. The serial 1 Golf 318 Kilo 20870. Beautiful Cleveland. I'm not sure where they have the date code on these, but I could run the model number. And usually Jax tells you what year it is. Might be a 2018. I'm looking at the serial number to try to decipher that. So why did they push this fine beauty to the curb? Okay, another bone dry tank. Let's see what the filter looks like. You're kind of surprised on that quantum starting. But if they didn't motivate it, they would have pulled on that thing all day long. Well used paper element. So let's remove that in the cover. The backing plate looks clean. I don't see a lot of dust or oily buildup. Let me come to this side and look at this. See if I can get engine numbers. Okay, sun's coming out. Really got a blast of heat here. Hopefully I don't overheat my iPad. So I have a couple of these side shoots. Blade's worn out to a rounded tip, so it needs another blade. Let's see what it says. Made in China. Serial number 1 Papa 61 Papa 0/08031 33 Bravo 0521. I'm guessing this may be 2008 by the serial number, not sure. Let me keep reading. This engine meets 2008 EPA emissions, so it is an '08. Displacement 122 cc. That's kind of light in power. This engine certified, blah, 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 blah. That's all you need to know. It's an '08. Looks like 3rd month, 13th day, '08. So we need a blade. Looks like a bow tie adapter just by looking at the shape of the blade. So why was this turd pushed to the curb? Let's look at the oil. Well, it was probably a boneheaded design. You got a dark colored dipstick. How you going to see the oil level? But it's showing right about there. But on this type, you got to just put it down without screwing it in. It's like a Kohler or a Honda. So let's see what the real reading is. Just put it on the threads, don't screw it down. And we're right at the L. So we're below. It should be up here in the hash mark. So we're a little bit low. It was right there. I'm going to put gas in this one just a little bit. Maybe they thought it was too old to cut. And they pushed this fine beauty to the curb. Like I said, it's got a separate cable for choke. Let me just pull the bail bar back. Okay, that's working. Is it locked up? It's got compression. Oh, it's got good compression. Where's the plug on this? Might also look at that. They put a torch on it since it's a China built machine. Wrong tool for the wrong job. Who's leaving beautiful Southwest Florida? Hard to say. I'm looking right into the sun. It's been a long time since I've had one of these come through the driveway. Ta-da! Torchy, Frank 6, Romeo Tango, Charlie. Looks like it was getting the job done. You know what? That was smooth. No rattly, clanky, nothing's banging or scratching or screeching. We may be in some sort of business here. Since I came this far, why not check spark? I just got to put something up there to hold the bail bar. This should do it. To it, prove it. Where are my plastic clips when I need them? Okay, what do we got? Gotta get some bare metal. Oh, no sparky. No sparky there. Is it this boot? Is this boot giving us an issue? Come on. I'm not dealing with clean surfaces here. I don't see anything. It's a good thing we check. Let me just bypass this. It's probably equivalent with a RC12YC. Well, holy smokes, we got a China aftermarket free carburetor plug. Looks kind of close, don't you think? F6TC. This is probably resistor. This isn't. We're going to throw this brand new beauty in and see if she cooperates. I like cooperation. Come on, Betty. We got a bad coil. I don't see anything. Okay, what do we look at? We look at the cable for the safety brake. Is it pulling it back far enough to release the ground? Looks like it is. I gotta refamiliarize myself with this system. Okay, so this might be more diagnosing. I could put it all back together, but if we don't have spark, I'm just wondering if I'm not getting a good ground. We should have spark by now. New plug. We don't have two bad plugs. Okay, no spark there. Oh, I got another free carburetor plug. Just an Autolite. Doesn't go to this, I don't think, but I just want to see. Oh, I think we got spark on this one. Am I seeing spark or am I dreaming? We got spark. Oh, holy crap. So what in the world's going on here? Let me keep digging in my used plugs. Here's an NGK. Appears to be about the same length. This thing's dogging me. Sorry guys, sometimes it's a disaster. Okay, good spark on this. I'm going to throw it in an NGK. It's got a different socket size. It's a skinny mini. So we found the socket for that. So that torch might have done us in. After I send you guys home, I'll put that crappy torch back in and see if it works or not. May have been no spark. So that would have been unfortunate for Harvey and Helen, pushing this 2008 fine looking apparatus to the street for my local scrapper to retrieve and sell to me at a reasonable price, in which I fix and make boatloads of money. Isn't that capitalism at its finest? Okay, clicky, clicky. All right. We'll just do a quick and effective. Stop messing around. Juice it. See if it cooperates before we waste any gas in the tank, because I'm going to probably clean the carb as a precaution. It's got a funny sound. It was kind of rattly, but then the exhaust has got a funny noise, a little puh 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 puh. Doesn't sound like a Briggs and Stratton. Since we had success with happy time solutions right into the carb, we're going to go full on happy. You just got to remember to manually choke it with the cable. I put the choke on closed. When it starts, I got to remember to move the choke lever off. Okay, you with me? You're not boiling up, sweat's pouring off of me. Sun came up above the trees. Now it's baking weather. Okay, full choke, pull on this thing. I'm going to put the choke off. Off choke. Whoops. So I'm thinking a carb clean's in order. It didn't kick off. But it's going to kick off now. I'm going to leave it full open, not choke it. No, it wants to. A little backfire. Backfire. Wanted to. I'm camera, choke it. Full choke. Okay, we didn't get the results we wanted. Who knows, it may have a bowl full of water. Whew. Gotta take a break. I'm too old for that. So, Torchy may have done us in on this one. No spark, might have been sitting for a while before they decided to call it quits and put it to the street. Could be water in the bowl for shits and giggles. Gonna try this full open choke one more time. Okay, that was better performance. So carb work on this. This quantum's not priming. Oh, this is my brush. I was going to brush off that plug. So we're at 33.3%. I got this Boland's to run 2018, getting a lot of response for my cheap stuff. The 20-inch cuts for 140. Nobody wants to spend money. But then you have the select few with a lot of money. They know the value of tur recyclers. I got them at $250. Much less than the box stores are selling. So I'm selling those, but it takes a little bit of effort. They don't go right out the door. Okay, I'm going to sit on the porch, have some iced tea, take a break. You guys have a good Sunday. Appreciate you coming out. I'm happy with these 3 so far. We've got a little bit of work to do, but I think they'll be good sellers. All standard pushers. No self-propelled in this lot, so I need some regular pushers to add to inventory. Tip your waitress and wait staff. Have a good day today. Adios, amigos.